Hello once again, denizens of YouTube. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. Alright, so as you can tell by the pictures here, oops, there, and there, this is my review for Rogue One, a Star Wars Stories, which I saw about, or finished seeing about an hour and a half ago or so. So, of course, this review will have spoilers. So, if you haven't seen it yet and you don't care, cool, fine. If you haven't and you don't want spoilers, well, then maybe you should come back to it later. Anyway, but, alright, so I have to say, first of all, great movie. A great movie, I have to say, overall. Uh, I give it a minus. I would think. I mean, as far as Star Wars movies in general. Um, First of all, I have to address, as I'm sure many of you heard, and of course those of you who have seen know, there's no opening crawl, no music, at the beginning. Of course, they played during the credits, but still. So it was kind of jarring and not. Well, I don't know if jarring is the right word. It was kind of odd, being so used to it. Um, but I mean, you get over it quickly. But I mean, the thing is, you still have your text, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then like mentally, the next thing is you hear that fanfare, but there is no fanfare. I mean, the movie just starts. You see Rogue One, and that's it. So no fanfare, no crawl. I mean, I think they should have still had it in some form or another, but they want to differentiate it from the saga films. I get it. Anyways, small little nitpick. Anyways, but you know, right from the back, and you of course meet Orson Krennic. Not well, you find Krennic, but you find Galen Erso and his family, a young Jen, his wife. I think it was Lyra was her name. And then Krennic comes in, and hell breaks loose from the beginning. I mean, Krennic kills off the wife, and they hunt Jen, but she hides. Saw Gerrera comes and gets her. Flash forward to her as an adult. Where the time of the movie taking place. I have to say, I liked, well, one thing, the different locations I saw. That we saw the different planets. Edu, Jeddah, of course. Yavin 4, which was so much fun, of course, to see when, they went to Yavin 4. But, the locations or the scenery, the planets, beautiful, the artwork, whatnot behind it. But, yeah, I mean, so, introduce Jen. You see she's a criminal, for lack of a better word. I mean, a fighter, been in trouble, and she's rescued. Of course, as soon as she's rescued, or her cuffs come off, she attacks her rescuers and try to get off, and then you meet K2SO4. You meet the droid who serves as much comic relief, a lot of comic relief through the movie, and it's not like jarring or out of place. It just works in and it's fun. I mean, for this reprogrammed droid. But anyways, brought to the rebellion. You meet, Captain Andor. Again, I hope I'm saying the names right. Which who's portrayed by Diego Luna. You see the beginnings of the squad, Rogue One. They come together. They meet the, I don't know what I would say, Jedi Light when they go to Jeddah, which is been described as a mecca for those who believe in the Force. Donnie Yen's character, and then his bodyguard, his friend. And I think they give little moments to each member of this team, the core team, Um, it just, again, left me wanting more. And especially for, I mean, Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen had, I mean, he's Donnie Yen. So, like, I mean, as with Jackie Chan and certain others, Tony Jaa, who have a great martial artist, great skill, it makes me wish that he was utilized a little more. But I mean, for what he had his scenes and how he was used, it was good. Like I say, just wish there was more. It's kind of like I know some people were, would say about during the Force Awakens. They had the guys from the Raid in the movie, and they didn't do anything really, well, except getting attacked by the Rathars, the creatures that Han Solo was smuggling. It's kind of like why, But anyways, again, that's what I'm saying. I love Jyn Erso's character. The little bit we saw Gerrera, Diego Luna's character. Again, Donnie Yen's character was good for what they had. I just wish there had been a little more. But again, you can't spotlight any one a whole lot more than the other, or it unbalances the film. That's what happens when you have casts of multiple people. But anyways, and of course, if he is force sensitive, then well, I mean, we know he believes in the force. But you know what? I mean, was he force sensitive in the way in respects to kind of like a Jedi? No, I guess not. Because again, as I said, this is a world without Jedi. I mean, he, I guess, had some sensing of the Force. I guess as Maz Kanata described it in Force Awakens. I'm no Jedi, but I know the Force, and he let it guide him. That was his principle. And again, like I said, some cool scenes. But anyways, and just the antics through the movie. Going to the planet where Galen has been kept, working, however you want to put it. I mean, and see him just killed off all of a sudden. Again, if you've seen this movie, everyone dies. There's no way getting around it. There were thoughts on whether or not this was, maybe some of them might have survived or whatnot, but as uh, some of my favorite pundits on Movie Talk had speculated, Collider Movie Talk. Yeah, nobody makes it out of this thing. I mean, no one. um, but still, it was fairly satisfying the way they did it. I mean, you got to know this team and care about them a little bit, and so there was some effect. Of course, when you see them die, maybe not as much as again if there was a little more time to get to know them. But that's what you deal with when you've got one movie, But anyways, and then to the planet, going to the planet where the Death Star's plans are kept, which was interesting. I guess kind of like the Imperial hub of data. And then, like I said, you have Star Wars. I mean, you're on the tropical planet. You have it is a war movie on the ground. Soldiers fighting in the trenches, as it were. Invading a base and whatnot. And then, of course, like you said, the space battles are just Star Wars. You see the X-wings, the Y-wings. Uh, you know, against the Tie Fighters, V-wings, and Star Destroyers. Just great action. And then, like I said, of course, you had, and this is really, I guess, where the real spoiler stuff comes in, besides the general story. Little nods here or there, just brief little moments. C-3PO and R2-D2 in Yavin's base. It's just like, wow. But, and then I know somebody might think about, wait a minute, if they weren't in Yavin's base, how can they remember anything? But then again, they had their mind, they were wiped, if I remember right. So, uh, I don't know, might be one tad little inconsistency, but at the same time, I guess it's not, as I haven't read a lot of the new canon books yet. I mean, I'm I'm reading Lords of the Sith right now, but I haven't read anything else or seen in the comics. I've just watched or read reviews on them. But anyways, but yeah, seeing C3PO and R2D2, even if it's just for a moment, was awesome. Um, near the end, after the final battle, well, right before the final battle, hearing Bail Organa and Mon Mothma talking, and her mentioning his Jedi friend who served him well in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan. Um, just that nod. It's like exactly where you're going. It's just like okay, gearing up, and someone he trusts, of course, Leia. And I have to say, by the way, before I go further, what they did with Tarkin was awesome. You could, I mean, it's CG as the actor's been long dead, and well, and you can tell it's CG. It's very good CG, but you can still obviously tell CG again because we're still at that, not quite to that threshold of getting great human looking CG, but it was done very well. And I mean, it was Tarkin, you know. So seeing his interactions with Krennic, of course, Vader, the few times, the little bit that we saw Vader in the middle of the movie, was cool. And then Vader at the end of the movie. I mean, when they go onto the rebel ship, he's just wrecking shop. I mean, it's coming. Vader's boarding. Lightsaber comes out, just cutting people down right and left, and it's just like force pushing them all over the place. It was such a freaking awesome scene. Um, and then, the Corellian cruiser, you see Leia, and I was wondering, what they were going to do for Leia. Again, I had heard that there was an actress who was going to be portraying Leia, and I was like, okay. Or people were wondering, surely was Leia going to be in this? Um, and she was. I mean, they digitally put Carrie Fisher's face on it. I mean, you see the hope on her face as she says, "Is hope," and you know exactly where it's going. It goes into hyperspace to come out and tattoo, and I mean that's the end of the movie, but you know what's happening. The next thing comes out of hyperspace. It's in above Tatooine. Star Destroyer coming. Episode 4. Which I still want to watch it right now, but I may do that tomorrow because I only have the Blu-rays and my Blu-ray player in my room. My PS3 conked out on me a couple weeks ago, and I don't feel like going in my cold living room right now. So, anyways, Rogue One was just an awesome movie, and you know, a worthy, very worthy addition to the Star Wars story, to the lore. Um, yeah, but yeah, again, it makes you wonder. Okay, now what are they going to do with this Han Solo movie? And um, whatever, again, the third anthology Star Wars story, whatever movie yet to be announced is, which I know many think is going to be a Boba Fett movie, and some are hoping, crossing fingers, for an Obi-Wan movie. And obviously, I mean, there's more to tell with Obi-Wan. Speaking of Obi-Wan, again, for all those, anyone who's watched Star Wars Rebels, again, in the last episode, with Ezra and Darth Maul, they have the confirmation that Obi-Wan is alive on Tatooine. They don't know the name, but a planet with 2 suns. And of course, Kanan is like, okay, if Obi-Wan Kenobi's alive, we have to go. So that should be interesting to see what they do for that. And like I said, they could show some adventures of Obi-Wan, be it there, or flesh out a story for some movies. But yeah, it just flowed so well, and especially flows right into A New Hope. Anyways, so that's my little review reaction to the movie. Maybe if I had marinated on a little more, I'd be able to get a little more depth, but it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts, comments, those who have seen the movie, if you're looking forward to seeing the movie, but you wanted to get an idea anyway. Um, you know, like, dislike, subscribe, share, all the drills. So, peace.